So, hey guys, today we are reviewing the first Jumanji movie which was released in 1995, and this is a really fun movie. Also, I really like board games, so it was even more fun seeing this type of a magical board game. Anyways, let's begin the review. So let's talk about Jumanji itself. I really like this concept of a magical board game, and this is such a unique concept. I love the idea of animals getting out of the jungle inside it and stuff. Also, that green thing in the middle which tells you what will happen next was really cool. That was the best thing about this board game because of how cool it was. Also, it is pretty scary that it can trap you inside the jungle. Really felt bad for Alan in this movie. Okay, so now let's talk about the characters of this movie. Judy and Peter were definitely my favorite characters, and also they were the ones who freed Alan from the jungle and brought him back to the real world. Sarah was also a nice character, and it was really nice seeing them completing the game together. Unity is nice because it warms my heart. Also, Carl, the police officer, was a nice character, and he was so funny near the end of this movie. Okay, so now let's talk about the animals and insects that came out of Jumanji in this movie. They are the obstacles that Jumanji creates, and that's what I like so much about it. After one obstacle goes, another one comes, and it just keeps coming, giving us so much fun throughout the movie. However, there is only one bad thing about these animals, and that is they have terrible CGI, especially the monkeys. Also, I really don't like the decision of them including giant spiders in this movie. Why did they include those stupid spiders? Why did they include any giant insect? Don't they know everyone hates insects? What if someone was eating while watching the film? However, the crocodile scene was really nice. Okay, so now let's talk about the villain of this movie, who is a hunter and is known as the Exterminator. So he could be a really nice villain, but he became a joke after that scene in the toy store. He had potential, but he was made fun of so much in the movie that he turned into a bad villain and wasn't a threat anymore like he was when he first came into the movie. He is really underused in my opinion. They should have made him even clever so that he was even harder to defeat. Okay, so now let's come to the final scene, and this scene is just so good. The exterminator tells Alan to raise his hands, and he does do that, resulting in the dice to fall off from his hands. And when the exterminator asks if Alan has any last words, he says Jumanji. And as explained in the beginning of this movie, saying that after you have completed the game takes back every creature and everything else back inside it. And that is exactly what happens. This was so nice. He survived just because of his last word. Really like the scene. But then in the next scene, we see young Alan and young Sarah. At first, I thought it was a flashback, but then it is revealed that they are back to the childhood. That is really bad. So, all of this didn't even happen. Right after the best scene came the worst scene of this movie. Rating 7 out of 10. Best moment, Alan says Jumanji. So yeah guys, that was it for the review, and I have not watched the new Jumanji, so I cannot review that one. Anyways guys, don't forget to like, comment, share and of course subscribe because I cannot subscribe myself, but of course you can, so do subscribe and see you guys, bye.